Good evening from Shelstone Pool in Brixton, my new home, my new office, my new podcast studio. Look at the sunset, guys. I've been down here all day since 7 o'clock, jet washing the bottom of the pool, getting it ready for the opening on Friday. And then I've gone home, seen the kids, cooked some dinner, and come straight back down to set the sauna up for some customers. What a life. We create it all. We literally create it all. Everything. Whatever you think about and whatever you manifest, you bring into your life. And it's taken me a lot of exploring to understand that properly, because the life that I live now and the mindset that I have is completely different. I feel like systematically I've broken down all of those old patterns and habits, ways of thinking, ways of trying to please others, ways of trying to look for the bad, tell myself the story, give myself the excuse, make a story up in my head to mean that, no, that's not for me. I can't do that because that's not something that a person with mental health does. That's not something that a person that's anxious does. Whereas if you flip that around to say, well, what would a person that isn't anxious and that is happy and creative, what would that person do? They would do it. They would think whatever people think of me, and however this goes, even if I don't succeed, at least I've tried, at least I've had a go. And for me now, that is all I can do. I love the idea of setting the intention, and I use my social media now to keep myself accountable. So by saying in 3 weeks, I'm going to do my best to open Shelstone Pool for the community of Brixton, what I'm actually doing is telling myself, there's no way that you're not going to deliver that. Now that you've told everybody that that's what you're going to do, and you've told yourself, more importantly, that that's what you're going to do, I had no doubt that this is what I would do. When I told myself that I was going to run a marathon with little training, I knew that I was going to do it. When I told myself that I was going to launch a podcast, nobody believed me, because I'm not a confident person that will stand on a stage, that will put their hand up, that will sit in front of a camera and talk. But whenever I've had those feelings of, well, why can't I do that? Would I want to do that? And would that be something that would make me feel proud of myself and that would make me grow as a person? And if the answer is yes, then that's what I have now flipped and created that space to be positive, creative, and everything's happening. There's nothing that isn't possible. Anything that anyone else has done before that would be considered to be an achievement or great, they've had those doubts. And this is actually funny because this is the second podcast I've attempted to record today. And I sat up on the green and it didn't feel right. I didn't feel like I was in the flow. So I've come down and I'm closer to the sea, and instantly, now that I can feel and hear the sea in the background, it's made me feel calm. It's made me feel relaxed, and I'm not holding on to anything that has happened to me today, because all I want to do is let go of everything. Let go of something that someone said to me earlier. Let go of a funny look. Let go of someone that cut me up in traffic. Let go of something that happened yesterday. Because by letting go of absolutely everything, you're able to recalibrate every single time. And then all that happens is you're your best version. You're the person that you want to be all of the time. And even when you have those little moments, those little blips where you might say something or react in a certain way, that's okay. That is completely natural. That is being human. Don't get it right all the time. But by holding on to that, it means you're going to repeat that again, because you're in that energy of holding on to something that you regret or that you feel shame or guilt towards, which then means your next interaction or your next action, that also isn't an alignment with the person that you want to become or the person that you know you are already. So I let it all go. All of that stuff is all gone. And I wanted to touch on something that came up in a conversation I had with a guy called Anthony Noble, who's a absolute top bloke. He's doing some big things. He's on social media. He's pushing out his message, similar to myself, where he's using his experience to help other men to become more positive. And I'm all for it. But when we had a conversation, he talked to me about the pendulum, which I thought about this a lot actually, because it makes so much sense in that the people you see doing so well in life and they're so happy and wow, look how well he's doing. He's brought this community together and he's so positive and kind and selfless and wants to help others. For me, that pendulum that is all the way over here now is only all the way over here because of the size of the pendulum that it's had to swing in the last 12 months. That could not be truer, because I was sat down here 12 months ago looking out to sea in the complete opposite energy to how I feel now. And I didn't know how I was going to navigate life, because for me, I'd lived this cycle for so long where I believed I had mental health. I believed I had anxiety, PTSD, depression. I believed that's who I was. So I behaved in a way that was in line with that person. And everything else, all of those health things around my bowels, around my lack of sleep, around injuries that I'd pick up, and around the way that I would feel so low, and the conversations that I want to say I'd have, but a lot of the time I wouldn't have conversations because in my head all the time. And now I'm the opposite. The voice in my head tells me, you're a happy person, you're a positive person, you're an inspiring person. I inspire myself to become better tomorrow because I know that this is a cycle, and it elevates and it magnifies, and I'm heading all the way over there. I will not stop. For me, it's not about what someone else has already achieved, because I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know that all of these experiences I've had over the 20 years in the police and all the stuff I've seen, all the skills that I've learned, they're all for this. They're all for this community building. They're to make this place absolutely brilliant. It's to bring the community together, because it's not about what other people are doing. The only way to be authentic is to be you, is to follow your path, is to set your intention and discover what it is that you're here to do, what makes you happy, what are you good at, what do you love, and do that to the best of your ability, and do it better than anyone else could ever do it, because nobody else will be or has ever been you. It's all you. It was always you. You create everything. You bring it all into your life. Whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're saying someone else does, it's because it's what you see in them that you don't like about yourself. And now I don't see any of that. I see the good in everybody. And I know that that's because I now see the good in me. And that's a beautiful feeling, because I know that for 20 years, whilst being in the police, I would see things in other people, and there was jealousy, and there was bitterness, and there was resentment, and there was blaming this person for that, and that person did this, so therefore I'm down now and I feel really sad, and they were horrible to me, and that person didn't do this, and why have they done that, and what are they saying about me, and what are they saying about that person. It's never going to make you happy, that way of thinking. Sitting in a room talking about other people in a negative way means that you are looking at them and you are realizing that you don't like yourself, or you don't like that trait, because it's what your trait is that deep down you don't like. You might not even realize it, and I didn't, but now I do, because everything I saw in other people that I didn't like was a reflection in what I was doing, that I now know is the person that I was never meant to be. The person that I'm meant to be is this. This is who I am. This is who I will always be, because there is no stopping that inner feeling that is not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anybody or anything. I'm not scared of what anyone thinks of me. I'm not scared of what could happen tomorrow. I'm not scared about what happened yesterday. The only thing I'm scared about is not reaching my potential, because I have unlocked the potential to be my absolute greatest, because I'm on a mission to spread my wings. And it's so ironic that the synchronicities that I was realizing before, when I was discovering things that were going on and manifesting and synchronicities, and there was an interlude in a book which talks about a caterpillar feeling like it's deformed before it becomes a butterfly. And when it's a caterpillar, you're surrounded by other caterpillars, and they're all telling you there's no way you can go over there and jump because you haven't got wings, you're a caterpillar. Meanwhile, all these other butterflies are spreading their wings and they're flying. They can see all the beauty. They're flying in between the trees and they're saying, just jump. Come be a butterfly with us. And I did. I jumped. I had no idea where it was going to take me, but I knew that it was worth a shot. And my God, is it worth a shot? If you are unhappy in a job, in a lifestyle that you do not like and that is not in line with who you are as a person, then spread your wings, jump, fly. Fly wherever you want to go. Fly to the person that you know you are. Remember who you are. Forget who you're not. Remember who you are. Forget who you're not. I remembered, and I will not forget. Thanks for listening.